You know that feeling when a legend steps onto the track and you expect fireworks, only for everything to suddenly go quiet? That's exactly what happened when Wayde van Niekerk, South Africa's golden boy, the man who redefined what human beings can do over 400 meters, made a decision that caught fans off guard. Right when people thought he was building momentum, right when he was showing flashes of that old magic, he pulled out. No dramatic press conference. No long explanation. Just a calm, composed message. He's stepping back, regrouping, resetting, and coming back sharper. Now, if you're new to track and field, you might be thinking, okay, athletes withdraw all the time. What's the big deal? But this isn't just any athlete. This is Wayde van Niekerk. This is the man who ran 43.3 seconds in the 400 meters, breaking a world record that had stood for 17 years. This is the guy who did it from lane 8. The lane nobody wants. The lane where you can't even see your competitors. This is the guy who made history at the Olympics and changed the sport forever. So when someone like that steps back, people don't just shrug it off. People start asking questions. Is he injured again? Is this the end? Or is this the calm before one last storm? Let's talk about what really happened, why it matters, and what this could mean for the rest of his 2026 season. Because trust me, this story is bigger than just one withdrawal. So here's what went down. Wayde van Niekerk showed up at the 2026 ASA Senior Championships looking sharp. Not just fit enough sharp, we're talking genuinely competitive. And here's the interesting part. He wasn't even focusing on the 400 meters at this event. He entered the 100 meters. Now, if you've followed his career, you know that's not random. Over the past few years, Wayde has been experimenting more with shorter distances. It's part of a broader strategy, improving top-end speed, sharpening acceleration, and becoming a more complete sprinter. And it was working. In the heats, he clocked 10.15 seconds. Then in the semifinals, he went even faster, 10.10 seconds. Now let's pause right there. 10.10 seconds is no joke. That's elite speed. That's the kind of time that puts you in serious contention, especially at national level. And remember, this is a man whose main event is the 400 meters. For him to be running that fast in the 100, that tells you something. It tells you the engine is still there, the speed is still there, the talent never left. So naturally, fans were excited. People were thinking, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the comeback season where everything clicks again. And then, boom. He withdraws before the final, just like that. No race, no showdown, no big moment. And that's where things get interesting. Because his message wasn't emotional, it wasn't dramatic, it wasn't even overly detailed, it was calm, professional, focused. He thanked the fans, he appreciated the support, he wished other athletes well. And then he said something that might be the most important part of this entire situation. He said he and his team would regroup, reset, and come back sharper for the rest of the season. Now that might sound simple, but if you followed Wayde van Niekerk's journey, you know those words carry weight. This is not a guy who makes impulsive decisions. This is someone who has been through one of the toughest injury comebacks in modern athletics. Let's rewind for a second. Back in 2017, Wayde suffered a devastating knee injury while playing touch rugby. And when we say devastating, we're not exaggerating. It wasn't just a minor setback. It was a career-threatening injury that required surgery and years of recovery. Years. And for an athlete, especially a sprinter, time is everything. Speed fades, timing disappears, confidence takes a hit. Most athletes never come back the same. Some never come back at all. But Wayde, he fought his way back, step by step, race by race, sometimes looking strong, sometimes struggling, but always pushing forward. And that's why this moment, this withdrawal, needs to be understood in context. This isn't weakness. This is experience. This is a veteran athlete who knows his body, understands the demands of elite competition, and is making a calculated decision. Think about it like this. Would you rather see him push through one race, risk injury, and potentially derail his entire season? Or step back now, recover properly, and come back when it really matters? Exactly. This is long-term thinking. And honestly, it's something more athletes should do. Because let's be real, the pressure on someone like Wayde van Niekerk is insane. Every time he steps on the track, people expect magic. They expect records, they expect dominance. But the truth is, athletics doesn't work like that. It's not just about talent. It's about timing, health, strategy, and sometimes knowing when not to compete. And that's what makes this decision so fascinating, because it shows maturity, it shows discipline, and it shows that he's not chasing short-term glory. He's focused on something bigger. The rest of the 2026 season. Now let's talk about that. What does rest of the season actually mean for Wayde van Niekerk? Well, it means opportunities. It means international competitions. It means possibly returning to his stronger events, the 200 meters and 400 meters. And most importantly, it means a chance to build momentum at the right time. Because here's the thing about elite athletes. Peaking at the wrong time is almost as bad as not peaking at all. You don't want to be at your best in April if the biggest races are later in the year. You want to time it perfectly, and that's not the behavior of someone fading away. That's the behavior of someone who still believes they have something to prove. And let's not forget, he's 33 years old. Now, in sprinting terms, yes, that's on the older side. But in today's era of sports science, recovery, and smarter training, it's not the end. We've seen athletes extend their careers longer than ever before. We've seen comebacks that nobody thought were possible. And if there's one person who has already proven he can defy expectations, it's Wayde van Niekerk. So instead of looking at this withdrawal as a negative, maybe we should see it differently. Maybe this is a reset button. Maybe this is a strategic pause. Maybe this is the setup for something bigger. Because imagine this scenario. He takes time to recover. He fine-tunes his training. He builds confidence. And then later in the season, he shows up when it really matters. No distractions. No pressure from early competitions, just pure focus. That's dangerous. That's the kind of athlete you don't want to underestimate. And speaking of underestimating, let's talk about something people often forget. Wayde van Niekerk is not just a 400-meter runner. He's one of the most versatile sprinters we've ever seen. He has world-class performances in the 200 meters. He's now showing serious speed in the 100 meters. That kind of range is rare. Very rare. And it gives him options. It allows him to adapt, it allows him to evolve, and in a sport where small margins make a huge difference, that versatility can be a game changer. Now let's bring it back to the fans, because reactions have been mixed. Some people are disappointed. They wanted to see him in the final. They wanted that moment, that excitement, that potential headline. Others are concerned. They're worried about injuries. They're worried about his future. And then there are those who understand, those who see the bigger picture, those who know that greatness isn't just about showing up. It's about making the right decisions at the right time. And if you fall into that last group, you're probably not panicking right now. You're watching. You're waiting. Because you know that when Wayde van Niekerk says he's coming back sharper, that's not just talk. That's a mindset. That's a promise. And if history has taught us anything, it's that you don't count him out. Ever. Because this is the same man who came back from a career-threatening injury. The same man who carried the hopes of a nation. The same man who did the impossible on the biggest stage in the world. So a withdrawal from a national championship? That's just a chapter, not the story, and definitely not the ending. If anything, this might be the part where things start to get interesting again. Because now the question isn't why did he withdraw? The real question is, what happens next? Will he return stronger? Will he focus back on the 400 meters? Will we see him dominate again? Or will this be a transition into a new phase of his career? Nobody knows for sure, and that's what makes it exciting, because uncertainty is where the best stories are born. So if you're a fan of athletics, keep your eyes on this. Don't write him off. Don't jump to conclusions. Just watch, because the season isn't over, not even close. And if Wayde van Niekerk has anything left to say on the track, trust me, he's going to say it loud.